Hey family, on November 20th through December 1st, 2022, we will have the all-inclusive Kenya trip. Now, a lot of times people have said, hey, Phil, when's the next trip we'd like to go? I want to see Africa for myself, but this is the time to go. Everything will be taken care of. All excursions are paid. You can do monthly payments. You know, they'll have safari and a 6-city tour. You will see Charlie Island, which is something that we did not see last time on the tour. This tour will be 12 days instead of 7 days. So make sure to secure your place on the trip by going to www.wbsvs.com, make your deposit, and then you can start making your payments, and we'll see you in Kenya.
Hello everyone, it's me, Demetra Kaye of the Demetra Kaye Show here on YouTube and a proud contributor of the African Diaspora News channel. If you could please do me a favor and subscribe to all channels and like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. So Netflix, the streaming service, has decided to drop the LGBTQ tag from its #1 series on its platform called Monster, the Jeffery Dahmer Story, because a lot of people in the LGBTQ community had an issue with it because they said that when they would go and put in, movies from the LGBTQ community, that Dahmer would pop up. And so they were like, why is this movie popping up in our category? And some people took to Twitter and said things like, no way they put an LGBTQ tag on the new Dahmer series, like, please. And someone else said, if I need to stay in my lane, obviously tell me, but anyone else think it's pretty gross at Netflix to list Dahmer under #LGBTQ, especially when the true crime tag would have worked? And then someone says, imagine clicking on LGBTQ category and this is what you get. And I'm like, well, Dahmer was from that community. Why are we having an issue with that? He was LGBTQ. He was a homosexual man that went into the Milwaukee community and sought out men from the LGBTQ community. And so if he was LGBTQ and he looked for people who were LGBTQ, wouldn't that make that apply? Why are y'all having an issue with that hashtag being linked to your section in the Netflix streaming service? I know why. Because y'all want all the other accolades, but y'all don't want the accolades when it comes to a gay man, which Jeffrey Dahmer was a gay man. It's well documented. Y'all got a problem with him being linked to y'all, but he was that. But y'all don't have a problem when we get stuff linked to us from the black community. I mean, just go and look at some of the movies that a lot of these streaming services put for black people. I don't know if y'all been on Tubi lately, but Tubi got some hood, fabulous, ghetto fabulous, ratchet movies in the black category. I ain't mad at it, because I don't think that necessarily applies to all black people, but it does to some degree, nevertheless. But anyway, I digress. Getting back to these people in the LGBTQ community, own it. Jeffrey belonged to y'all. He was part of your community. Not just because he was a monster, that don't mean that you all are monsters. Just like when Tubi or any of these other streaming platforms put, ratchet ghetto hood rap from the neighborhood is with so-and-so's baby daddy, because sometimes his titles sound like that. We ain't getting mad about that. We just keep it pushing like that. Don't apply to me, okay, whatever. But y'all don't want to be associated with it. Just like Ed Buck from Los Angeles, who was killing up on black men. He was LGBTQ. Y'all, he belongs to y'all. So instead of y'all getting mad and hashtagging, we don't want to be associated with it, y'all should say, okay, well, he belonged to our community, but he does not embody the things that we do, right? But the other thing is, you guys might have heard a lot of backlash about the movie for other reasons, like it re-traumatized the victims' families and things like that. And some people said that they felt like Netflix or Ryan Murphy, because he is actually the writer of that particular Dahmer series. I feel like that it is opening up old wounds and things like that. Now, one of the victims' families said this. And his name is Eric. He says, I'm not telling anyone what to watch. I know true crime media is huge right now, but if you're actually curious about the victims, my family, Isabel, are pissed about the show. It's re-traumatizing over and over again. And for what? How many movies, shows, documentaries do we need? Now, his cousin was featured in the movie. You guys might remember the scene where it happened in court where she was going off on Jeffrey Dahmer. She's screaming and looked like she was trying to go after him, attack him. So they reenacted that part in the movie. But I will say this. I did watch the series. It's a 10-part series. And, you know, it's not the first series. It's like the fourth or fifth one, rather, since like 2002. And so I'm not sure why people are up in arms, particularly about this movie. Maybe because now social media is hot and popping. It wasn't then in 2002. It is also Netflix's number one. I guess it's the most streamed show since Netflix. So maybe that has something to do with it. But my other point is to the LGBTQ community. Black people are saying this is re-traumatizing, and Netflix isn't taking it down. So are y'all just as mad about that? Or are y'all just mad because Jeffrey Dahmer is tied to you? And as I said a minute ago, I mean, he is part of y'all community. Now I will say this because y'all probably wondering, well, why did you watch it, Demetra? I watched it because y'all can judge me or whatever, but I kind of like study the serial killers. Is just a thing that I've always had. And so I wasn't a stranger to that of Jeffrey Dahmer. But I will say this, just my personal opinion about the series. It had some traumatic moments in it, but from what I understand, a lot of the victims' families were on board and they didn't have a problem with the story being told. But I will say, from my opinion of watching the series, I feel like Ryan Murphy, the writer of the series, and he, writes a whole bunch of stuff like American Horror Stories and things like that. I love all of his stuff. I'm just going to put it out there. I felt like what he actually did was indict the justice system or the injustice system there in Milwaukee for how they handled a lot of the cases in regards to the black men and Asian, because one of the little boys, he was 14, he was Laotian, from the Asian community. They actually gave him back to Jeffrey Dahmer after he had escaped. And so I feel like Ryan was actually indicting the justice or the injustice system, as I said, because they didn't do anything about it. They kind of just thumbed their nose at it. Oh, well, whatever, it is what it is. Jeffrey, they just kept letting them go. So I saw it that way. Whether you watch it or not, I don't know. It's on you, but I'm just telling you what I saw. The story is it's traumatic, no matter who tells it. But that's kind of what I saw from it. But again, LGBTQ community, I think you got your priorities messed up. You should be more mad that Jeffrey Dahmer did that stuff than him being tied to y'all. So anyway, y'all tell me what you think of this. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube. Peace.
More Threads, a brand owned by a former teacher and Black American freedman, use their apparel and more to teach hidden truths and Black American history. More Threads will address the lack of knowledge and negative images in our community. Check out www.morethreads.com to purchase our apparel, read thought-provoking blogs, and more. Sign up to have raw conversations and wear clothing that acknowledges, celebrates, and honors our lineage at www.morethreads.com.